with another video about the market. And guys, let me make this more dramatic. No light, because then the scalpers get in. Alright, so the market right now is at a standstill, and it's going to be at a standstill for quite some time. And what's weird is I'm seeing correlations of this with the stock market. I think right now people don't know what's going on, especially what's going on with Iran and Israel. People are like, we might go to war. That's a possibility. But it's also a possibility that we just avoid it at all costs, which I hope we do. Nobody wants a war. And we try to resolve this. Well, the U.S. tries to resolve this as soon as possible so everything gets normal, because stocks have been doing great since April, and earnings have been pretty good for most of the top stocks. For the S&P 500 stocks, they've been doing amazing. Even Tesla did amazing on their earnings, and no one expected them to do great. So what does this mean for the Pokemon investments? Well, I think it means we're going to see some great deals, and I think the summer is the last chance to buy these boxes for a decent amount. What I mean by that is these boxes, like Surging Sparks, Destined Rivals, those might get a reprint, yes. But I'm mainly talking about the sets from before. Sets like Paldea Evolved, Scarlet and Violet, Paradox Rift, Twilight Masquerade, especially. If I were looking to invest on a booster box, any booster box, it would be Twilight Masquerade. Due to the fact that it's the first box with an actual chase, the Greninja, and we're hitting into an era focused on Kalos Pokemon. And if I'm correct or not, I don't know if I'm correct or not, I think Greninja is also getting a Mega. So it's going to boost that popularity of the Pokemon even more. Remember, Pokemon collectibles is just popularity. The best Pokemon to invest in are the ones that are the most popular. Even in Final Fantasy, the Magic game, Final Fantasy, those boxes are $800. People are still buying them because it's a limited release. And obviously Pokemon is not a limited release, but the sets of these Pokemon, like you have this Pikachu that we haven't really had an alt art of a Pikachu in a while, a chase of a Pikachu in a while. The last one was the Rainbow Pikachu, but the Rainbow Pikachu didn't really have anything to go on besides the Pikachu. You had the Amazing Rares, but the Amazing Rares were super hyped and they're just not good. Especially because they got overshadowed by a bunch of arts that were way better, collectibles, way better. People wanted those a lot more than the Amazing Rares that are now like $2 each. So I have a question. People who are comparing those sets, Vivid Voltage to Surging Sparks, you can't compare them because the set value is already way more than Vivid Voltage. And I'm talking right now to the people who are losing their minds, deciding, should I buy it now or just wait? I think you just should buy a box. Buy a box. If it goes up, you won. If it goes down, buy more. Because let's be honest, if you really are into investing, you know that you're gonna invest more than one box. But if you really like MSRP, which nothing wrong with that, I think you are just not thinking as a perspective, as in the perspective of everybody's going to want this set. if you go to a store and which and you're an LGS owner, what box would you rather sell? Would you rather sell the Scarlet and Violet base that hasn't really been touched by anybody, that's getting cobwebs in the back, or would you rather sell the Surging Sparks that is getting sold off completely off the shelves? People are going crazy for it. So that's the issue with Pokemon right now is, not just Pokemon, just as the trading card games. We are at a very, very top. You know, we're at so many new card games are also being implemented now. Godzilla is getting a card game. What? But yeah, it's happening. I might pull a King Ghidorah or Destroyer. I might buy some just to get one of those two. But in actuality, if you're gonna be investing, get um established Pokemon, established collectibles. Uh, Lorcana. Lorcana seemed very promising. I still think there is some promise to Lorcana, but it has slowed down extremely. Uh, you don't really see Lorcana that much. The first chapter was amazing for them, but after that, it was kind of a downhill. I mean, there's Roaring Skies, Shimmering Skies. Sorry, not Roaring Skies, Shimmering Skies. That's a good set. The Rise of Jafar just came out. Just as the collectible scene right now, it's very popular because people are like, hey, I can make money off this. And let's be real. Who wouldn't want to make money? Easy money. I get a box, hold it. 2 years later, it goes up. Wow, amazing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything at all. And that's why I'm telling people, especially if you really want to get into investing, just buy a box, a booster box, and buy things that are MSRP through Target, through Walmart. Just spam those checkout. Make sure that you get there early. You spam. Make sure um, that you don't get kicked off. Try not to get kicked off. Get to the Pokemon Center on time. Little by little. You don't have to blow your whole budget on this. Pokemon, I think sooner or later will lose its popularity due to the fact that I think people are expecting Pokemon to print so much that it's gonna meet the man, but it's not gonna meet the man. Magic basically told everybody F you, because the Final Fantasy is always gonna be expensive. On the Final Fantasy, I've heard so many videos of distributors saying, "Hey, why didn't my LGS get more allocations?" Guess what? Everybody got breads and crumbs because they had to share, and that's the issue that a lot of LGS owners go through, and it sucks for them because even if they try, it's just hard for them to meet expectations as them as a business and also be profitable. Um, Yesterday I saw P Football Pete on eBay selling the Surging Sparks booster box for like $224 free shipping, so it came out to $240 with taxes and everything. That's a great deal for what the booster box has, the set value, and what it's gonna do in a year or two. It is totally worth it. I can't see a world where Surging Sparks goes back to $100. Can you imagine Surging Sparks at $100? Do you know how many people would buy it? I would put all my life savings on Surging Sparks for $100 booster boxes. You're telling me a set with Pikachu with a crown on it in the front is not gonna do well. And yes, you can compare it to Vivid Voltage, like I said, but Vivid Voltage is not the same to Surging Sparks. Vivid Voltage only had the Rainbow Pikachu, and that is it. You have Surging Sparks, Pikachu, Latios, Hydreigon, Milotic. You have all of these SIRs, the Executor. You have the Magneton promo. I think that one's gonna do amazing. Just wait on it. People are sleeping on that promo. I think it's the least expensive promo from the artist. I don't know his name, Shinja Kamori. I don't know, but he is a very good artist. I'll give him that. I just don't remember his name. Guys, right now Pokemon is only a investable because of the art. Before Pokemon started implementing the art, it was a very bearish era. You had people buying generations for like $4, X and Y era stuff, Roaring Skies for like $3 a pack, and just putting them in their basements. We're gonna be there by the next era because people are going to leave because Pokemon is not meeting the demand, and it's understandable. Remember, guys, it is a collectible. It is not something that's a necessity. So if you miss the mark, don't worry. I missed the mark on Evolving Skies and I could have gotten it for $250. That's what I'm saying. Buy these boxes, man. Buy these boxes. Because I remember during Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield was a very interesting time to be part of the hobby because for like really the first time, I think, I'm not sure, I wasn't there in the eras before. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong or not, but Evolving Skies was the first booster box to really be out of stock in the Pokemon Center. And people were like, this box is the holy grail of Pokemon, and we're not gonna sell it to you unless you want to pay a premium, which is what I think is happening with Surging Sparks, Journey Together, and Destined Rivals. It's going to be tough for people to accept that these boxes are not going to be moving from 200, but that's what happened with Evolving Skies. As an LGS owner, my collection is my store. That's what I would think. So why would I want to sell my best product? My best product. Especially if LGS owners had Sword and Shield invested in Sword and Shield, they don't have to sell you Surging Sparks for a low price. They can just sell the Sword and Shield booster boxes that they've already gained hundreds, 200, 300 per gains, 200% gains, and be profitable still. So remember, Sword and Shield, nobody wanted it. You could have done the same thing with Sword and Shield, with what other people did with X and Y, Generations, Sun and Moon. Just holding them, and next era it exploded. You could have done that with early Scarlet and Violet, but really, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like the early on Scarlet and Violet. That's why I didn't invest in it. Twilight Masquerade, I think I should have. I did miss the ball on Twilight Masquerade. It had the Greninja as a chase. Lovable card. It's a really great card. Surging Sparks really took the scene. Paldean Fates was also something I missed. But, these specialty sets, they are going to be printed. And that's another thing. Do you really think the Pokemon is going to be focused on printing all these sets? Everybody's saying they're going to reprint everything. Okay, they're going to reprint everything. Let's skip Scarlet and Violet because it's the first one. Nobody wanted it. Paldea evolved. I think this is just clickbait at this point, man. Like, you guys can count it for yourself. It's like 10 sets. I think the only sets that they're really gonna reprint is Surging Sparks and Beyond, and Paldean Fates and 151 because they're specialty sets. And specialty sets are a lot easier to print and they make a whole lot more money. So be thoughtful of what to open and what to not to open, especially during this time. Because opening packs is not good. You're not going to get the investment unless you get really lucky. From my experience, just keep it sealed, and not even in a year from now, 6 months from now, when Scarlet and Violet is over, you're going to see appreciation. You're telling me after the Scarlet and Violet era is over, they're gonna keep printing these sets when they have to focus on the megas, when the mega games are coming out in 5 months, 4 months, 4 months, 4 months from now, the new Pokemon games are coming out. Pokemon is driving on hype, not on feelings. They are a business. And your LGS is not getting the allocations as a big box store, like a Target, like a Walmart, like a GameStop, or a Best Buy. You know, I mean, maybe some LGSs do. That's the thing. You really have to hope that Pokemon focuses on specialty sets. Why I say that is because I think specialty sets are going to really take off in the upcoming years. Because one, they have better hit rates. Sometimes they have nicer cards. I like the Mew. The Mews are the best card in my opinion of Scarlet and Violet. I think these sets, the specialty sets 151, Paldean Fates, have such better hit rates that people were like, hey, I would like this in my collection, even as a display. Twilight Masquerade is cool, but it has an Orgrimmon and Blood Moon on it. Maybe if I had Greninja in the front, it would look a lot better. But I think it's still a collectible, still a good booster box to buy. Twilight Masquerade, Surging Sparks. That's when the era started to change, and the second half is not gonna be like the first half where you're seeing $100 booster boxes. Please don't think like that, because if you do, you're gonna miss the boat. You're gonna miss the boat. And these booster boxes, people are telling you to focus on the old, but those are not gonna be moving like these new ones in a year or two. What sets do you think, guys? Remember, every era has the set that is most collectible, that is most wanted. Sun and Moon, Tag Team, Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, Sword and Shield, Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Lost Origin, Chilling Reign. This era is gonna be 151, Surging Sparks, Destined Rivals, and Paldean Fates. Just try to see, maybe buy one box of each set that you want, because I don't think these prices are getting better. That is my advice. Because if you're struggling just looking at eBay, looking for the best deals, just buy a box under retail, under market, the secondary market price, taxes and shipping included. Even that's hard to find. So that's why I say just go online, look for a good deal on these boxes, and just buy it and say whatever. If the market goes down, I'll hear it. You'll be seeing tons of videos about it, and people are going to be buying, and you better hurry and buy it. That's my advice, because it's not worth the headache, because there's always going to be ups and downs, but even in downs, at least you have the box, and you know it's gonna do good.